the blue skies speak for themselves. We have quite the spectacular day here today, weather-wise. And so I kind of just wanted to get out. I've got a few garden jobs that I'm keen to tackle today. And I thought we would sort of spend the morning together getting those done. I've got some fertilizing to do. I need to tie up the pumpkin again. I've got some pruning that I want to do. That is Pip that you can hear barking. So yeah, just a nice, it should be a really lovely sort of just slow morning in the cottage garden. Gosh, they look beautiful. All the birds are twittering away. Water fountain is going. I've had some really exciting developments that I'm so excited to show you, but we won't do that today, otherwise I'm going to get distracted and I will never get my gardening jobs done. So maybe next week I'll give you that sort of May garden update, a little bit of a tour around so you can see how everything is doing, and I will share my exciting developments with you. I very quickly wanted to show you. Look at these multicolored roses. I want to show you those, and I also wanted to show you, just probably for the final time, that really gorgeous big pink rose just around the other side near the sun deck. So we'll head over there now and I'll give you a quick little look at that one, and then we're going to get stuck into these gardening jobs. Gosh, what a truly incredible day. And you can see these roses here. So for the final time, I just wanted to show you this one here. I know you're probably sick of seeing this rose, but gosh, isn't she just stunning? Starting to go over just a little bit, you can see here, but it has been a couple of weeks and she has looked this magnificent for probably about 3 or 4 weeks now. Gosh. And you can see this bush, we've got new ones here coming through. Look at this one and the smell. Gosh, it's one of the mini roses that has that beautiful rose fragrance to it. And look at the petal, like the architecture of the petals. Like they're so ruffly and just absolutely gorgeous. We are quite literally stopping and smelling the roses this morning. Gorgeous apricot ones. I am keen to get into the cucumbers this morning and get them fertilized. You can see they're still doing really well. They're almost ready for harvest. But I am dealing with a little creature that comes at night time and is pulling the leaves off of the cucumber. And you can see here, like this is one from last night. It's just shredding the leaves and leaving them. I'm not sure why it would be doing that. And it seems to only take issue with this cucumber here. This one's sort of okay. So I don't know if it's trying to climb up or something maybe, and that's why it's, you know, the leaves are just being pulled off as it's trying to climb up. Bizarre. So I'm wondering if maybe I tackle the fertilizing first and then we will do some cutting back. So on second thought, what we might do first is tie up this pumpkin. This pumpkin is just growing crazy. So it was only maybe 2-3 weeks ago that we tied it up to here, and look at all of this growth. So I think what I might start doing is actually twirling it around. Just because I think it's actually going to get quite big. So I'm just going to twist it around like that, and then I might secure it just in here. So hopefully, yes. And then this is the jute ribbon that we purchased a few weeks ago at the garden centre. Just trying to not... There we go, that's better. All right, so the pumpkin is done, and then hopefully he will continue to kind of curl up. I'm debating at this point whether I let it grow a bit longer and I kind of just pull it straight up to the top up here on this top post. I'll see how it goes. Excellent. One job ticked off. Apologies, the lighting is terrible around here. So I'm just going to make up my sort of little compost mix, and what I'm going to be using is this red soil organics compost. So it's like a living sort of compost. So I'm going to use probably about a handful of that to about 4 handfuls of this organic sort of potting mix. I'm going to mix that through. I'm going to pop it into a bucket, and then I'll take it around to the vegetables, and we'll kind of just sprinkle that around and get them all fertilized. So as I said, what I've got here is just a little bucket with a mix of the Morpheus live compost and organic potting soil, and I've just sort of mixed that through so it's not like so rich. I think the Morpheus is really quite strong and rich, so I just wanting to, you know, dilute it slightly when I'm putting it on the vegetables, because obviously they are still quite young. So I've got my little bucket here ready to go, and I'm going to start at the pumpkin. So that is the pumpkin that we tied up today. I'm going to do the pumpkin because it's quite established. I might also do a little tiny bit in the strawberries. I want to try and do tomatoes, and I want to do the cucumbers as well. And if I've got some left over, I might pop some around the citrus in that as well. So let's get going. So I have topped up the sort of compost fertilizer. I also took the opportunity to weed a little bit. I mean, the weeding is never done and you never get every single weed, but it definitely does look a little bit tidier. I am intentionally leaving the fern there. I think once these sort of get a bit taller, they'll block the sun a bit, and then that fern will be a lot happier. Another little job done today. I didn't, just for information, I didn't fertilize sort of any of the really small little seedlings. I just think they're too small to withstand the richness of the compost and fertilizer. So I've just left those for now. Otherwise, the vegetables are looking very nice. So let's move on to the next job. So I'm over in the sun deck area, and I was actually sitting on this deck chair this morning getting a bit of the very beautiful early morning sun. And this whole bush sort of behind is night jasmine, and it is doing unbelievably well. But as you can see, it's really just sort of growing over onto the deck, and it's sort of, this angle is not the best angle to be able to see, but it's sort of hanging over this deck chair. So I've just got my large sort of pruners, and I thought I would quickly kind of get in there and just do a very sort of gentle prune. I kind of want to take it back in and maybe take a little bit off the top as well. So we will do that and we'll see how we go. I don't have a lot more room left in my green bin, so I'll just sort of see, I'll see how much I cut off today, and then I might have to kind of wait for the collection day before I take off any more. Gosh, that breeze today is gorgeous. It makes for such pleasant gardening weather when you have this sort of beautiful sun and then that really lovely cool breeze. Ugh, love it. So just to show you what I have done so far, you can see I've just sort of pruned all of this where it was hanging over. I've pruned it back. I would like to, as I said earlier, take a fair bit of the top off, but I'm very conscious that I do not have room left in my green sort of garden waste bin, and I still need to get all of this debris in there from today. So maybe I'll leave that for today, and we will tackle the top of this in a week or so once the bin has been emptied. But very happy with that. It just means that when you're on the sun deck, you don't have the night jasmine kind of hanging over you while you're trying to get your morning sun. But yes, very, very happy with that. All right, well, I might start to clean up my mess here. Alright, that is going to be it from me today. I hope you have enjoyed just spending a really easy morning in the garden. We got a few of sort of the regular little cottage garden jobs done. And gosh, it has just been such glorious weather. Definitely in autumn now, and really just feeling that lovely, cold, crisp mornings. So I'm going to bid you farewell. Thank you so much for spending the morning with me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.